Welcome to episode 163 of the Narcissistic Music Disorder.
Oh, good morning, Scotty.
Hello, sir.
How you doing this morning?
Oh man. Good. Good. I stayed up late because I watched
Dude,
a cool rock show last night.
thank you. That was fun. It was fun to watch a couple of those. I mean, we got to talk about it. We got to, the first band, Wolf Brothers, who,
Yes.
did you hear any of the background of that band? Like, those guys had been together, like, played in a band together since
I
like elementary school.
yeah, I think a couple of those guys were Kentwood guys and
They were.
they had played together forever. Yeah.
Dude, Chico said that in fifth grade, three of them without Dale. I don't think Dale DeVries, I'm not even sure he's the East Kentwood guy. But three of them in fifth grade like played a talent show, and I
Oh,
forget what they played for a song too. It was 1980, he said. Shit, I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was a Kiss tune or something. But yeah, so they'd been, and I thought they sounded really good.
yeah, those
It
guys
was
are
fun.
probably 2, 3 years older than us, I think.
Yeah, I think Dale is probably got 10 years on me, maybe.
Yeah.
Um,
He's the only
but
one
yeah,
I knew from
me
that
too.
group.
Me too. And they sounded really good. It was
Yeah.
really fun. That's not true. That's not true. I knew their bass player too.
Oh,
I
did
know
you?
him.
Okay.
Yeah. And then of course our the show's dear friend Michael Kreppel and his band Hand of Giants. I
Oh
mean,
man.
god dang, dude. And I was thinking this morning. So first of all, as a guitar nerd, like all the guitars last night sounded really good. Like
Yeah.
I asked um I talked to Dale about his guitar tone. I asked Kreppel. I knew what Kreppel was playing through. I asked Paul what he was playing through. Um, but I thought like tone wise, like the guitar tones and the bass tones, I thought they were really good. Like the
Yeah.
sounds were right. It made me. I wasn't. I knew we would be kind of sandwiched in there, and it'd be a quick changeover. I didn't even bring an amp. I brought a little pedal thing that kind of is an amp, but I didn't bring a real amp. And
Okay.
in hindsight, I sort of wish I had, or at least brought my pedal board and plugged into Kreppel's amp. But yeah, it was really fun. And goddamn, dude, Hand of Giants. I mean, that's eight people. That's
That's a
eight people.
traveling circus right there.
Eight people, dude. I'm I'm still blown away that like he can get seven other people to show up to a practice on Sunday or whatever. I
In
mean,
Big
that's
Rapids.
in Big Rapids. And I had never met the bass player previously,
No.
and I pulled him aside. It was, as a matter of fact, so obviously, probably out of most people there, I had the longest ride back to where I was from. So I left after the Hand of Giants set, and I get my car. I leave this parking garage where I forgot my ticket to get out.
Oh,
So I don't know, who knows what I paid. I put my car. I went forgot ticket or lost ticket. Put my card in, and it let me out. It could have been $500. I don't know. I'll know soon enough. So I'm about to roll out of Grand Rapids, and last night was busy because of St. Patrick's Day shit. There are people wandering and lined up outside bars and
yeah.
all this. Dude, I had left behind all my T-shirts, CDs. I left all that in that green room.
Oh,
So I
did
had to
you?
go back. I just happened to hook around the block, pulled
Okay.
in, parked in an alley, ran in and grabbed it, and ran into Hand of Giants bass player. And I just told, man, I really liked him. He was
Yeah.
cool. He played really cool. He had cool parts, and he was a super nice guy when I talked to him. So yeah, that was a fun night, dude. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad you were there. I'm glad I got to go to the pyramid scheme. I'd never been there. Um,
Yeah, it's a cool spot.
it is a cool spot. And I'm gonna say it again, and I don't know what the turnout was like. All I remember is when Lucero played there, they had a tour bus. They were in a bus with pulling a trailer, which I still don't even know. I remember someone took a picture of it, like Lucero's bus outside the pyramid scheme, and I'm like, how did they even get down there
It
in
takes
a
up that whole lot.
tour bus with a trailer? I mean, forget it. And then my other thought is, if that thing was sold out, which I would guess it was for Lucero,
Yeah.
dude, that would have been jam packed.
Yeah.
What a cool place to see him in, though. So that was a lot of fun. I'm glad you guys were there. I'm glad, and it was just a good hang. It's always good. The hang is good. I love Chico. Joel is. I mean, I met Joel here in my basement for the first time. Well, that's not true. I jammed. You might remember I jammed with Barrel Bones. I got up and played
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Rebel Threat with them.
That was with Steve on bass though.
That's You're right. You're right. So I'd never met Joel until here in my basement. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I've
it was a
known
good
him
hang.
for forever.
Yeah, it was a good hang. And he did something last night that has nothing to do with music. Um, but it matters to me, and it'll be funny to some people think it's stupid. But we were kind of in a text thread back and forth about, you know, get what time we'd get there and all that shit. And he did something I do, and not a lot of people do. The dude asked me like, "So what's everyone dressing like?"
Oh, yep.
And
That'll be
that's a pro dude. I mean, that's a pro dude. I don't care what you say. Some people be like, it doesn't matter what you wear and all that bullshit. I looked at us, there's, Kreppel took some pictures of us just so we'd have kind of for posterity. And I went, that looks like a band.
yeah,
And it's because those dudes care about that stuff. Like, hey, what are we going to look like? Because it would have looked weird, three dudes like this, and maybe he's in a Hawaiian shirt and shorts.
right.
But he had the professionalism to ask, like, well, what are we going to look like? And I don't know. I think that's next level stuff that I can sort of separate bands. You know,
Yeah.
like I can tell if some cats are, I mean, good musicians or whatever, but the next level is you look like a band.
You
And
remember
I
the
appreciated that about him.
you remember the band from the 90s from New York called Two-Headed Sam?
No, I don't.
Okay. He was in
Ooh.
that band.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I never met him before. I just know that it was like all of a sudden, like, Barrel Bones had gotten this new bass player,
Yeah,
and
he's
and
good.
and he's
He's
a
really
great
good.
musician.
He's very close with Jack Blades.
Yeah, he's a great player. He it's always I don't know if ego boost is even the right word, but it certainly validates you a little bit if someone likes your songs that you don't know and he doesn't have any vested stake and he didn't grow up with me or didn't know my mom or anything like that. So that was nice. But you can tell he's a pro dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's a pro dude. And what a treat for me. Like I mean my of course Greg Miller on electric guitar. I mean, anytime I get to do that, that's a
Yeah.
hoot. So yeah, it was really fun. It was a good time, and I'm so glad that Kreppel was gracious enough to ask, even include me in something like that. Well, and actually, it was Chico who called me and just said, "Hey, man, would you be willing to play some of your songs at this thing with us?" And of course, fuck yeah, of course, yeah. Oh, I'm gonna say
Heck
never.
yeah.
Yeah, I was more than thrilled to do that. So
Heck
yeah,
yes.
a
That was
good night,
awesome.
a good night. Hopefully, more of that to come. Um, and now on to the important matter, the always important matter. What? Uh-oh. I'm sorry, I got distracted. Somebody's in my basement right now. I can hear them dragging cymbals around. So I'll give you, I'll give you one guess who that is. It's the jazz man. Hey, come on, hey, come say hello to the. Okay, he's got to go. Oh, he's probably late for a rehearsal or something. He might have a gig or a rehearsal today. So let's get on to the important matter at hand. What's today's show about?
Well, let's talk about some album battles after key members leave bands.
What? I mean, how I've been angry. I've been angry when people have left bands or when a
Yes.
band broke up, and even if it not benefits me in the long run, that's not the right word. But even if it yields good stuff afterwards, I still always miss that core. That
Yeah.
core of the band. Even or I'm also, and I think you're like this too, like a classic lineup guy. Like some bands have multiple lineups through their
Right.
life, but there's always like a classic line. You'll hear people say that, oh, it's the classic lineup of the Black Crows. That's a band that always comes to mind for
Doobie
me.
Brothers.
The
Yep.
Doobie Brothers, right? The classic lineup, or that band that,
Skinnerd.
yes, that did that classic album. The Truckers are that way for me.
Yep.
Like the
Truckers have
the
different members. Yep.
and the Decoration Day Truckers. When Jason joined the band, that's
That's
like
the
my,
band.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. And so I do, in compiling my list for these album battles. I have strong feelings about some of these, and I know you will
I
too.
do
I think
too.
I think
Well,
there's one on my list that you and I will both have plenty to say about. So
yeah.
without further ado, what's your first one?
Um, Blizzard of Oz versus Heaven and Hell.
Oh, geez, 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 geez. I don't know. No, I mean it's for me. It's always going to be Blizzard of Oz.
Me
Always.
too.
Although, and I didn't. I wasn't a I wasn't a Dio era Sabbath guy for a long, long time.
I wasn't
I
either.
didn't even listen. I didn't even listen. Like I knew I was Holy Diver Dio, and I don't
Yeah.
think, dude, I'm not sure I listened to much. I mean, I don't think I listened to much until way later. I went back to Dio, but because I mean the Shadow Cast by Blizzard of Oz, you can't say that you can't say Heaven and Hell is a groundbreaking album. You can't.
No.
I mean it's great. It's good. But it's not groundbreaking. Blizzard of Oz is like a groundbreaking album, dude. I mean,
As far as a single from the record though, do you think Heaven and Hell is probably has a more known single?
then Crazy Train?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, I mean Crazy
No.
Train was a way bigger song. I
They're
think even
both pretty huge, but yeah, Crazy
I
Train's
would
way
say
bigger.
Crazy Train, and I
Heaven
think
and Hell's not played at sporting events.
right, and I think that if you gathered up just this cross, group of people, threw them in, and you did all aboard versus that opening riff of Heaven and Hell, it'd always be Crazy Train. But that being said, I mean, even the song Heaven and Hell is just that's a monster tune. And I will say this, Ronnie James Dio is a better singer than Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh yeah. And that band changed in another way too, where they had another songwriter come in with Dio.
Well, plus they were at one point, Bill Ward was out and they had Vinny Appice was playing drums for them, who
Okay.
went on to be in Dio. I mean, all those Dio guys, short of Vivian Campbell, had a little bit of time in Sabbath, I think.
Was
Like even Jimmy Bain, the
was
bass
Vinny
player.
Appice was he from Vanilla Fudge?
No, that's his brother Carmine,
Carmine, okay. And
who
doesn't he
um
say his name differently, like a
yes,
piece?
Carmine says Carmine Apiece, Vinny says Vinny Appice.
Yeah.
And it's funny because if you kind of take those connections further, so you have Vinny Appice is playing in Black Sabbath at one time, then goes on. He's in Dio, of course. Um, his brother Carmine ends up playing with Ozzy. Carmine
Yeah,
played with Ozzy during Bark at the Moon,
Bark at the Moon. And
and
did
I
Carmine play in Blue Murder?
yes, yep,
Yeah.
yep. Played in Blue Murder. He was in Vanilla Fudge.
Yep.
Um, Played in. It was you who I might still have it, dude. You gave me that CD of Beck Bogart and a piece.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Carmine Appice is a big name, and that was the problem with Ozzy. I think they kicked him off the tour because he was selling he had his own shirts, Carmine
Oh,
Appice
okay.
merch. I mean, the dude wrote Hot Legs. He wrote Hot Legs by
Oh,
Rod Stewart. So he'd already been huge. Jesus Christ, he toured with Led Zeppelin, Vanilla Fudge and Led Zeppelin. He was
yep.
friends with all those guys. But I do think that Ozzy didn't isn't all wasn't always crazy about having he was the marquee because he'd come from Sabbath where I mean, have you ever seen like those old Sabbath videos how they're set up on stage? It's like Geezer and Tony and Ozzy's off to the side and back.
Yeah, yeah.
He always was. Um so that was really kind of I think he was ready to be Ozzy. That's why the band wasn't called Blizzard of Oz. It was Ozzy Osbourne.
That's right. That's right. It was supposed to be called that.
Blizzard of Oz, yeah. So yeah, but I think Blizzard of Oz is way bigger and more God dang it, what's the word I want to say? Culturally important. That
Yeah.
seems like a big thing, but yeah. Both great albums. And now I love them both. My Uncle Ricky loved Heaven and Hell.
Did you have that one on your list? Those
No,
two? No?
nope, nope.
Okay.
My first one is one you've used as an example on of this episode. It's 5150 versus Eat 'em and Smile.
Yeah.
What do you say?
I Heather and I were just talking about this one this morning, and my go-to still to this day is Eat 'em and Smile.
Me too. And please don't get me wrong, because 5150,
5150 is their masterpiece
I,
with
I
Hagar.
agreed 100%. There's great songs all over it. Um,
It's a great
there,
summer album.
oh, dude, because Summer Nights is on it, which is a
Yeah. Oh
great
yeah.
song. And the song Good Enough that kicks it off. Hello, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so good. Um, it was a shift in Van Halen. It was even like guitar nerds. I don't know if they would agree with me. I think they would. There was a shift in Eddie Van Halen's tone, his guitar tone.
Yeah.
The Roth era versus 5150, because 5150 is when they start doing, I mean, 84 started it, but 5150 is where now it's all done at Eddie's place. It's all done at 5150. And that studio has a certain sound to it. But Eat 'em and Smile. I mean, as
Yeah.
that's Dave's masterpiece, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost would be like, I mean, I don't think it was, I can't imagine it was done. I mean, some of it was middle finger, I think. But can you imagine your old band was Van Halen, was Eddie Van Halen, on guitar, and now you're going to go out and make an album? And it's like that decision of who you're going to get
Yeah.
had to be, and I've never even heard if there were other considerations.
With
I'm going to
his
research that.
ego, with his ego, he had to, it's like everyone has to be better than the guys I left.
Right. And I think you could make an argument, not that I don't think Steve Vai has changed the instrument like Eddie Van Halen did.
No.
Like Steve Vai wasn't an influence on Eddie Van Halen, but Steve Vai would tell you Eddie Van Halen was an influence on him. Um, but dude, that Eat 'em and Smile band is groundbreaking. I mean, there's not a weak spot. Yeah,
And
there is. There is. David Lee Roth.
for like our generation, that was like our first super group.
I liken it to Cream.
Exactly. But that was like Gen X's super group right
For,
there.
dude, I'm not kidding. Now, I had, by the time that Van Halen broke up, 85, I had already, I think maybe 5150 came out, 85, 86.
Hmm.
I had already, I'd already seen, like, because there was no YouTube, but I'd still seen like the broadcast of like Van Halen at the US Festival. So I knew kind of, and there were live videos for stuff like Hear About It Later and One Foot Out the Door and Unchained. So you had an idea of what a Van Halen, because Van Halen didn't come to my hometown. Like I was too young to see Eddie Van Halen and David Lee Roth era because they didn't get, I'm sure they were in Kalamazoo. Maybe I should find out, but they
I
didn't get,
saw him in 1993 in Detroit
and they did later. I believe they came to Van Andel.
With Sammy Hagar, but that
Yeah.
was yeah. I still have a keychain from like LLZ or something with
Oh
the
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But but I'd seen that. And then in 86, my junior high girlfriend and I, it's my claim to fame. I went and saw the Eat 'em and Smile tour.
Yes.
And dude,
That was that at Wings?
yes.
And that was with
Or
Cinderella?
it may have been Kellogg's Center in Battle Creek. It's
Oh,
one of the
Battle
two.
Creek. Okay.
But it was Cinderella. This new band, Cinderella, came out their day. I mean, they were great. They started with the first song was Night Songs.
Did they have like a purple stage?
Yes, they
Did
looked
they?
killer. They were great. They were great. Eric Brittingham and Jeff LaBar. You talk about dudes who could whip their guitars around their backs. They
Oh
were
my.
really good at it. So they were great. And then David Lee Roth band came out, and I to this day I've never seen anything like it, and I can't even explain some of it other than David Lee Roth was flaunting Steve Vai, and he was flaunting Billy Sheehan. He was flaunting those guys. Like he had a whole 10 minutes of saying shit to Vi and making Vi say it on the guitar,
Oh yeah.
and it wasn't like, which is cool, right? The same thing Steve Miller did, and whatever that song is, that
Yeah.
sound, and it's in Yankee Rose, but it was complex phrases. Hey Stevie, say, I think it was, I feel like it was, maybe it was Battle Creek, but it would be like, hey Stevie, say Battle Creek, Michigan kicks ass, and he played it, and I swear to God, it was like, I mean, it was
Oh
perfect, and
my
he did.
God.
And it was just, yeah, I'm always going to Eat 'em and Smile on that one. Although
Yeah.
I My son is a 5150 hater. He's old school Van Halen all the way, and Eat 'em and Smile. He does not like Sammy Hagar Van Halen at all.
Okay. Does he like
I
any solo Hagar or no?
He likes Standing Hampton because
Danny
I
Hampton,
you
yeah.
can't live in my house and not. Um,
No, yeah.
but yeah, out of those two, I'm going Eat 'em and Smile every time.
Me
Although
too.
we can't discount 5150 because
Nope.
and and that's when phase two of Van Halen, the more commercially popular phase of Van Halen started.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. And there's some great songs on it too. I mean, Summer Nights, Good Enough. Um, God, dude, is Why Can't This Be Love on there? Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, those are great songs, and there's a great live document. It's called Live Without a Net. It's their
Yep.
concert video. Really good. Really good. What do you got next?
Um, oh, this one you'll be very familiar with. Vince Neil Exposed versus Motley Crue self-titled.
This is going to be hard for me for one reason only. And it's because I love the drummer Vicky Fox, who
Right.
played with Vince Neil on that record.
He was from
Um,
Enough's Enough, right?
yeah, right.
Yeah.
And he's just
Not the
incredible.
original drummer, but the most known drummer, I think, from the first two records, at
Of
least.
what? Enough's Enough,
Well,
or of Vince Neil?
was Vicky Fox on
Yeah,
like
on the he was through Animals with Human
Strength?
and he was
Okay.
through Animals with Human Intelligence. He played on the debut. He played on Strength. He played on Animals
Because
with
I
Human
thought they
Intelligence.
had a different bass player and drummer, and then Derek and Vicky Fox came in later.
No, no. So the debut album, what I'll call the classic Enough's Enough lineup: Derek Frigero on guitar, Chips Enough on bass, Donnie V on vocals, Vicky Fox on drums,
Yeah.
and that does the debut, Strength, and
Okay.
Animals with Human Intelligence, and then I'm out.
Maybe before they recorded it, they had two other guys
There
on
was a dude
guitar
named
and
Yes, they did. There was a
drums.
dude named Gino something from Chicago. He was in Enough's Enough.
Okay.
Alex Kane was in Enough's Enough. Alex Kane was in some version of Enough's Enough.
Wow. Is he from that part of the country?
I believe he
Is
is
he? Okay.
Chicago. Oh man, I don't know, but I must say I
And then
didn't
Steve
follow,
Stevens was unexposed.
which is the same thing, right? I think that the same thing is Vince was trying to make that statement, right?
Put
You know what I'm saying?
together, yeah, put together a same or better band.
Yes, yes, and that's what they did, right?
Well, I mean, it's not hard to get a better bass player. You can get a guy with three strings and you'll be better than Nikki
Well,
Six. But
and and Vince seemed to be staying in his lane a little bit, where I think I don't know, dude. That Motley album with John Corabi's
so
really
good.
good, really
I
good.
This one is a dead tie for me. I love both these albums.
Oh
And
man, I would go
and
with the
I have
Motley.
I have a massive disdain for Vince Neil as a person.
Oh yeah,
So
he's probably not a great human being.
he killed
Um,
one of my favorite drummers.
well, I know, and then there's part of me that you want to hear something really macabre is part of me's not grateful is not the right word, but a lot of people wouldn't even know Hanoi Rocks if it wasn't for that. I mean, that's terrible to say, but it's true. Because they were over here, Hanoi, they were over here like getting ready. They were kind of putting the flag in America when Vince killed Razzle. Like they were
Yeah,
over here doing press or something. But yeah, I love Steve Stevens. I just want him with Billy Idol. I half wondered if like I wonder this about, I'll be honest with you, like the guys last night, this is my own like insecurity, but I worry like their cool friends are going to call them and be like, what the fuck were you playing with John Merchant for? Like, how
no.
embarrassing.
Her
But
cool friends are gonna call him and say, "How'd you get that gig?"
I wonder if like Steve Stevens' friends weren't like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you playing with the guy from Motley Crue? You know? But Vince had a good band. Vicky Fox was in it. Steve Stevens. I think Robbie Crane played bass in
Robbie
that band.
Crane from he was in Rat.
Yeah, he was originally Bobby Doll's tech. He was Poison's bass
Oh,
tech.
was he?
That's
Okay.
how Crane kind of came on the scene, I think. Um,
Bobby Dahl, the coolest guy in Poison.
although my wife loves Ricky Rocket. Like in our house, I would not say that in my house, that Bobby Doll shit. Not in this house. It's where this is a Ricky Rocket house for sure. But I like Bobby Doll too. My wife hates him. But that Motley album, they were chasing, and you've read The Dirt, and so have I.
Yeah.
Even Karabi's part of The Dirt. They were chasing trends, and they were doing that. They were trying. They were even saying stuff like, "Let's make the vocal harmonies Alice in Chains vocal harmonies," and they were trying to do that. But what they got in Karabi was a real singer.
Yeah.
And even have you watched any like YouTube videos of those guys doing old Motley songs with him, like "Shout at the Devil" and stuff? And there's a few old Vince Motley tunes that when Karabi got a hold of him, he did cool shit, and he played guitar.
Yeah, yeah, Vince
And
Fake played guitar.
and supposedly, like I don't know if it's still the case, but like him and Mick Mars were buddies, and Karabi always talks highly of Mick, always. And I don't know. I thought the Motley record was better. I don't think it stood a chance, dude. It never. Either did Vince's really, because by that time that was all done. It was Vince's stuff was a little too party, and Motley felt like they were chasing grunge. So
Yeah.
neither of those albums were going to be great.
No,
Although
just the diehard stuck with
just the
them,
dot,
I think. Yeah.
but but if I in my probably I would say in my top 10 Motley songs, Hooligans Holidays in there.
It's great. Yeah.
It's great, dude. It's great. Yeah.
I think it's the second best record next to Too Fast for Love. So
Oh, I'm not talking craziness like that, but all right. Well, my next, let's go. This will be one you've got. I already know your opinion on this, but I'm gonna throw these out. Now, this is band breaks up and you get two bands.
yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Trace by Sunvolt versus AM by Wilco.
It's number 8 on my list. Yep.
All right. What do you think?
Well, we
Are
did a
you
whole show on
on
Trace.
Trace? Is that
So
you out of the two?
here's the thing with this. And I probably explained this on the Trace show, but I was not a Tupelo fan first. I was a Sunvolt fan first.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Found out about Tupelo, went backwards.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
I liked Trace more, but then after then I found out about, wait a second. Yeah, that's right. So Tupelo was already done, broke up when I found out about him.
Okay. Okay.
Um, so I went backwards and I've gone back and forth. I've said I liked AM more because for a while I liked Tweety more, and then Wilco kind of changed for me
Hmm.
at like Foxtrot. I kind of dropped out or
Yep.
somewhere in there. Um, maybe what was there? Summer Teeth was before Foxtrot, I think, wasn't it?
It was. Yep.
Okay, I like that
Yep.
record too. Um, but consistency, Sunvolt has put out the more consistent records. The only thing I'll say about Trace is he must have had a lot of fucking bangers just waiting because that record is just banger after banger.
Well, and and
And
I have
AM doesn't sound anything like any other Wilco record
because so here's my I have strong
because of
opinions
the
about
Bottle
this.
Rockets influence, I
Well,
think,
and
in
because
there.
I think I could, and this is reaching probably, but I feel like Tweety has always been he's always been not always, but he seemed the guy who was most concerned about like maintaining those Uncle Tupelo fans and bringing them along to Wilco. Where I think Jay Farrar just was Jay Farrar, and sometimes I don't think he gives a shit if anyone listens or not. I mean,
Right.
he's very not that he's actually mellowed a little with age, but he's always. I mean, he just seems grumpy.
Yeah.
But so I was I'm not embarrassed to say this in mixed company because everybody knows how I am. I was a weeping. I wept when Uncle Tupelo broke up. They
Okay.
were
Yeah,
that
because
important to me.
you were
I
there
was so
early.
in. I will say this again, and I said it to somebody last night. Like the Jayhawks changed my life. That band changed my life. And once I got into them and that world opened up to me of that era of Americana, alt country, whatever we called it. Um, I mean, it was, I worked at a record store. It had to be 91 when I got that first cassette. And it was the very first time I ever listened to Uncle Tupelo. I kept the blank, the dubbed cassette in my workshop with in Greg Miller's handwriting,
Oh yeah.
and it's got like four Uncle Tupelo songs and Joe Henry, and I was like, then I was in because I Greg Miller could have said, "Fuck, I don't know," that he listened to cats farting, and I would have been like, "Okay, man, I'm gonna go get greatest cat farts," because
Yeah.
I
I
was
got
so.
into that world through Jason and the Scorchers. And
Who I
then
knew about already. I knew about them
yeah.
already, but
And
they didn't
then
feel like that to me.
no, they didn't. But what really got me going in the alt country world was when I heard Todd Snyder's first record. So
Yeah, well, that was, and I
I
was
was working at the store then. So
by the time Todd Snyder hit, I was already neck deep. I was already Jayhawks, Uncle Tupelo. I was already starting to dig into some stuff like well, like I said, when I met the guys in Wilco, um that's when I got into Blue Mountain.
Blue
And
Mountain,
then
yeah.
shortly thereafter, I got that subscription. I feel like I was like issue 2 or 3 is when I got my No Depression magazine subscription,
Oh, so you were
and I kept it forever. I had that fucking, as a matter of fact, I lived at home when I got that. And my mom, it came, this is old school, so it came in a manila envelope and it said No Depression on it. And of course, my mom didn't open it, but she, knocks on the basement door where my room was then and comes down. I'm flopped across my bed doing whatever. And she goes, "Can we talk?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. What's up?" I'm like, "Oh my God, she found weed. What's going on here?" And she's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, are you depressed?" "No, not at all. I saw you'd gotten this magazine about depression," and it was No Depression magazine. So, yeah,
Oh, nice.
um, which is my mom was that sweet, to be concerned. Out of Trace and AM, um, I don't know, dude. I might tie him. I might tie him. AM's
I'm a
fun.
Trace
AM
guy.
AM is fun. It's lighter. It's poppier, right? It's more accessible to me. Trace is darker. But if you put them to the common, like everyday music listener, they would tell you that Trace is the better album. It sounds richer.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, you still have Mike Heat Adorn, the drummer from Uncle Tupelo's in Sunvolt.
Yep.
Jay's in Sunvolt. And then the Boquist brothers, who had played with Joe Henry in
Right.
Minneapolis. And then I can't think of his name right now, but the pedal steel player, it might have been Lloyd Maines, who played on the last Tupelo album. Um, I don't know, man. And then Windfall was such a great song. But dude, there was a video I had for years, Polaroid pictures of a TV set in a hotel room. I was playing in a cover band, and my girlfriend and I at the time, um, we were staying at a hotel. I don't know, maybe I was playing out of town, and the video for fucking Drown came on, and
Mm,
I was like, oh my God, Sunbolt's on MTV. I took Polaroid pictures of it, like, oh yeah, they're made it or whatever. Yeah, I don't
yeah.
know. They're gonna always be equal to me because I love both of them. I I still think Jay Farrar is probably the deeper songwriter. That sounds shitty. And Jeff Tweedy, I think he wants to be like Richard Lloyd or something, or he's. I don't hardly listen to Wilco anymore, dude.
Yeah,
I
he's
just
like
don't
yeah.
like television, like art rock. He's a little art rocky for me now.
Yeah.
Not that I don't. The last, what's that last album I got
What
into by
was the
them?
singer from television? Tom Verlaine, I
Yes,
think.
thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the last Tupelo album it was really good. I don't think it was Ghost is Born. It had stuff on it like
Wilco, you mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
Impossible Germany, Sky Blue Sky.
Sky Blue Sky. I have that
That's
one.
my that was my last one, I think.
I
I
have
was like,
that one. And there's Wilco Schmilko
yeah.
and
Oh, there's a ton of them, dude.
yeah,
Tons.
there's
Yeah. All right. What's your next pick since I stole that one from you?
well, I have one that you can talk more on this one. I'll go to number 6 on my list because I not a huge Kiss guy. I got into Kiss probably 3 years ago. But
Okay.
these records that battled were Crazy Nights and
Oh,
Freely's Comet.
ooh.
And
Oh, yeah.
I'm a Freely's Comet guy.
So am I.
I didn't really Crazy Nights didn't do a lot for me. There's songs on it that are cool, but
So I'm a Freely's Comet dude too. I mean,
yeah.
that's great. I almost criticized Kiss for outside writers, but even like Into the Night isn't Ace's tune. Um, John Reagan brought that song in from his former
Mm,
band. Um, is Rock Soldiers on that first Ace
yeah,
album? Yeah, which
yeah.
is still a cool song.
Great.
Crazy Nights was so recently I tried to turn
Is that
my
the one
son.
where there are four heads around the
Yes,
cover?
yep.
Yeah, yeah.
I saw that tour, by the way. I saw Crazy Nights. I liked it, but it was that era of Kiss, which would be like Crazy Nights.
Out in
I
the
wonder if
Shade,
Hot in the Shade, there's a bunch. I think did Asylum.
Asylum. Yep.
They start
Was that the Egypt one?
no, Hot in the Shade was the Egypt one.
Hodgin. Okay.
But what they started to do is pull in, they're getting a lot of outside writers. I think Gene was wanting to be an actor, so he wasn't super involved. I don't know, Bruce
Was that
Kulick and
Desmond Child and stuff like
yeah,
that? Did
Holly
they?
Knight, this woman named Holly
Oh,
Knight wrote a lot of those songs with them. I don't know. I went to see Kiss. I saw every time Kiss came to town, I would go. I just recently tried to turn Quinn on to some Asylum era Kiss, like Tears Are Falling and All Night and all that. He was like, "This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard."
I love Tears Are Falling.
Yeah, and he does not. He thinks it's all too. He's like, he would take Deuce and Strutter and you know everything off Alive too, but he doesn't have any use for those. I'm still gonna go Ace. I think Ace was the soul of Kiss. I
Yeah,
do. He was just
I loved the Frehley's Comet record, and I
well
still
that
listen
had
to it to this
I
day.
think
So
I think Anton Fig played drums on that.
I believe you're right.
Yeah. All right. Where am I headed here? This is a big one for me. This time I used the artist's last album with the band and then the artist's solo album. And so I'm comparing Drive By Truckers' Brighter Than Creation's Dark with Jason Isbell's Sirens of the Ditch.
Oh, wow.
And both these
Whew.
albums are killer.
Brighter Than Creation's Dark. That was his last one with the
Truckers album.
truckers. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, there's some killer Cooley stuff on there.
There's all of those guys have great songs. Isbell has some killer songs that are Brighter Than Creation's Dark. Um, and I got Sirens of the Ditch and the opening song on that, Jason Isbell like a big deal now, but I can always suss out us old school guys because of this album. And I usually go, "Hey man, do you like the song Grown?" And nobody knows it. Nobody knows what the fuck
Oh,
that song is or um what else is on there? The Devil Is My Running Mate is on there.
oh God,
Um
yeah.
shit.
That's like sounds like a leftover trucker song right
Yeah,
there.
there's a lot of that.
Yeah,
Um
that's a great song.
I tie
Down
those
in
two
a
out.
Hole, is that on
Yep.
there?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. I'm trying to think of what else is on there.
In a
I think.
Razor Town?
Yep. I think that album is so good that when my father-in-law was alive, and he and I we liked similar music, but he wasn't a music guy by any stretch. I gave him that CD. He had a old step-side truck he was driving around. It had CD player in it. And I gave it to him. It was in his CD player every time he got in his truck. That Jason Isbell record was playing.
It's a peach.
And so is Brighter Than Creation's Dark. Those are
Yeah.
both great albums. They're tied for me. Um, I will say this is terrible. I didn't stay with the truckers long after Jason left. I
Oh,
was kind of out, which sucks because
I
there's some great songs.
yeah, I kind of was out after 2016. That's the
But
last
but I was gonna say,
really good
I
record that I enjoyed.
and I'm lying because I liked Go Go Boots.
Yeah,
I
it's a
liked
good
the
one.
album Go Go Boots, and there was another one that I felt like came. There was Go Go Boots, and there was something else, and it wasn't Brighter Than because I love Brighter Than Creation's Dark. I do. But there was another. Oh, maybe that. I'm
It's
thinking
the
of a
one with
different
like
record.
Birthday Boy and stuff on it. I can't
That's
remember.
Brighter Than Creation's
Is it
Dark. I
right?
think. I think Bob is on there. That's a coolie tune. Well, there ain't nobody like Bob anymore. Yeah, that's great. I'm gonna tie. I'll tie those two albums too. They're both great. Um, I don't know. Jason went on to be a phenomenon. Obviously, I mean,
Yeah.
really. I mean, he's like a TMZ guy. Like the TMZ would cover something if Jason is, but like when he got in that argument, he was feuding with one of those top 40 country guys. So
He was feuding with
Morgan Wallen,
Dirks Bentley for a little bit over in
because
a
he,
razor. Well, he
dude, he
says
ripped that song off.
he
I mean,
claimed, yeah, he stole in a razor town. Yeah.
I'm sure I told you the story, but you know me, I tell these stories all the time. But I was at the deli at our where we get our meat, and I walked into the gas station slash deli, and I'm like, holy shit, Jason Isbell's playing. And this is before like Southeastern came out. I was like,
Right.
holy
Okay.
shit. And it was that Dirks Bentley tune. And I posted something on Facebook.
I can't remember the name of the Dirks
I
song,
can't
but
either. And I like
I
Dirk.
think they've made up
I think they have
since
too. And I always like
because
Dirks Bentley.
Dirk, like, I think Dirks was legitimately like, I didn't know, or
Dude, it
I don't know.
happens. It's bound to happen.
But I mean, it gets in some of that shit too. Like, I don't know if this happens with musicians as much as it does with like comedians don't want to watch other comedians' sets because
Right.
they a joke will like get into their mind and they'll maybe think it's theirs or and
Dude, I'm the
unintentional stealing of jokes and
dude. Not to talk about me and my dumb songs, but last night a guy came backstage in that green room and walked right up to me and he's like, "Man, I love those songs and blah blah blah." I'm like, "Well, thank you. You know, that really means a lot." And he says to me, he goes, "Do you like Steve Earle?" I'm like, "You heard that, huh?" He goes, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Yep, I could hear that for sure." Of course. I mean, I've
rifle
been
in
listening.
the rifle in the closet is your
Is a
Cooley song.
trucker. It's a trucker's tune.
That's your
Um,
Cooley song for sure.
and you know what?
You
I
had
mean,
gun in the closet in mind when you wrote
I'm
that.
sure I did. I had to. I had to. I had to. It even sounds. I'll tell you what. If it makes you feel any better, um, the vibe of Rifle in the Closet. If you ever get a chance, if you want to know where I ripped that off from, go listen to a song. Used to be a cop.
Oh, the Cooley song, isn't it? Or is it a Patterson
That's a
song?
Patterson
That's
tune.
a Patterson tune,
Yeah,
yeah.
but if you
There's
listen to it, you'll hear Rifle in the Closet. The chords are kind of like, or the feel is kind of. Remember, I demo these songs by myself, so I am in charge of all of it. The drums are never going to feel a certain way. They're going to feel whatever best drum part I can play by myself. But that song, like the feel is used to be a cop. The title came from obviously Loaded Gun in the Closet, and
the
but the story is 1,000% of
right.
that. It's 1,000% true. It happened. I was every word of that fucker is true. It
Yeah.
happened. I mean, that really happened. But yeah,
I
those.
love those.
Yeah.
What was I gonna there's a Dutch Henry song. I can't think of what it's called, but it sounds like she took a lot of pills and died.
Oh, really?
Yes. On a
I wonder.
dime. On a dime.
Oh,
If you listen to On a Dime and listen to She Took a Lot of Pills and Died by Robbie Fulks, you can tell what whoever wrote that was listening to at the time.
well, I'll tell you what. Miller and I saw Robbie Folks. Remember, we had Dutch Henry had a relationship with him. We were playing shows with Robbie Folks all the time. But Greg and I went and saw him.
Did you ever
We
notice it?
never till you just said it. I'm going to ask Greg. No,
You'll
you know what?
have to
It,
listen to them
it's
and
not the
back to
case, dude.
back.
It's not the case. On a Dime was done
Was it?
before took a lot of. I
Maybe
know it
Robbie
was.
stole it from you guys.
No, it was demoed though. It was demoed way before that because
They sound pretty similar.
Greg and Mitch had gone to Nashville. They were going down to Nashville before Dutch Henry to. Those guys were like starting to kick around down there as writers. That was the end game of all of this. They were
Yeah,
going to
that
be
when
a
did
writer.
73 come out? Like oh
Oh, 05.
oh five. That's what I was
Is
thinking.
that right? Yeah. And I feel like that False album is before that. But I have a demo, like that story is about the birth of Greg's daughter
Right.
on a dime.
Turning around.
They
Yeah.
did that. I mean, that's all true. I remember when that happened. But I'm gonna listen now. I'm gonna ask Greg. As a matter of fact, he just texted me on my phone. I'm dying to see what his text is because he doesn't text me much about a whole bunch. I'm gonna ask him if he ripped that fucker off. I'm just kidding. Uh, wow. All right. So, your pick. What do you got next?
So this is one you'll be very familiar with, and you probably have it on your list. Rock in a Hard Place versus Let the Music Do the Talking.
I don't have it on my list. You don't want to know. You don't want to know. You'll be pissed. Everybody's mad at me because it's always let them. The Joe Perry project. Shit. I was thinking.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. God, Lightning Strikes is on Rock in a Hard Place, right? Is that right?
I
When
think
the lightning strikes. Jung, 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 jung.
that's when was it Jimmy Crespo on guitar?
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah,
Rick Dufay got in there for
because it
Brad Whitford.
yeah
I don't know, man. I don't like
yeah
either of those albums a ton. Um, I hate. Oh boy, I hate the Joe Perry Project's version of "Let the Music Do the Talking."
yeah
I think Tyler did such a better job with that song.
right. I
Um,
do too.
boy, would yeah, I'd probably go to the Aerosmith album. That'd be my vote.
All right,
I'd probably go.
here's
Hmm.
another one that it's not really a battle because they didn't dislike each other. They're just taking breaks from Duran Duran, but Arcadia did a record with Nick and Simon, and then a couple other guys called Arcadia. So Red the Rose,
Okay,
and Andy and John did a record called The Power Station.
the Power Station. Come on, dude.
I
That Power
know
Station record is bitching.
I have them
Is
both, but man,
bitching.
the Power Station record is
Is
so good.
bitching. And I just watched John Taylor and Stanley Clark playing
Oh
with
wow,
each other. And I've said it on this show. I've said it to everybody who will listen. None of us, because it was buried in such killer, high quality pop tunes. It was buried, not buried, but it wasn't standing out in such a prominent way. Uh, John Taylor is a world class bass player. His grooves,
absolutely.
all the Duran Duran stuff. He really got funky on the Power Station stuff.
Hmm.
What's the tune? She wants to be your bride. Are you going to do it?
Do
I
it.
don't know. Yeah. What is that song? Robert Palmer, of course, is in that, right?
Yes.
Um, what is that song? Feel the heat, push it, something like it hot.
Something like it hot.
Is
Yep.
that on that record? Is
Yeah,
that
it's
on that Power?
track one.
Yeah, something like it. That's that Power
There
Station
you
record.
go.
That was a big record, man. And for a band to make such a mess of Bang a Gong and have it still be cool, I mean, that's not T-Rex, nothing like T-Rex, and it's still cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that Power Station record's great.
So
That's
good.
real. And I love Simon LeBon. Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
love.
that Arcadia record's got some cool stuff on it.
Yeah, I still like when I think it was after those records that Duran Duran got back together and they did like um
Red
Ordinary
Carpet,
World and that
Ordinary
era.
World, and they did
Oh
like Red Carpet Massacre,
yeah,
and yeah, there was
they're the
some great stuff.
yeah they're a great band.
There was one that I said that you probably don't have much input on, and that was Roger Waters' Radio Chaos versus Pink Floyd's Momentary Lapse of Reason. And I'm gonna
Well,
always go Pink Floyd because
I was
Roger
gonna say,
Waters is a douchebag.
and I hate to say it, dude, I do I know that album, and I did like that Pink Floyd album.
Did
I
you?
did.
Yeah, I do
Yeah,
too. I don't
I
like
like Pink
Radio
Floyd.
Chaos at all, but
So I like Pink Floyd singles, all the hits. And I'm like that with there's only two bands I'm really like that with. And one is Pink Floyd, and I should love all Pink Floyd, right? And I've listened to like The Wall, and Dark Side of the Moon, all that shit. Um
Animals is the best.
but but I just never got into them because I for my stupid brain, I am like I'm guilty. I'm Camaro rock, dude.
Yeah,
It's gotta sound like my Uncle Ricky's fucking tape collection or I can't follow it.
yeah,
But Momentary Lapse of Reason, that was a big, huge Pink Floyd album, and I really liked it.
yeah.
What was it? There was a single on it. Uh, I think, I think the single was that big. You're gonna kill me because I can't think of
I
it.
can't remember the track
Yeah.
listing,
Anyhow, I'm like that with the Grateful Dead too. I only like a couple Grateful Dead songs or albums too. So,
but there's one big one left.
well,
And I don't.
I've got some more on my list I want to throw at
Okay.
you
Yeah, yeah.
because we haven't talked about I've
You
got
might
this
have
on my
it.
list. I doubt I do, but here's one for you. The last album with him on it versus his solo album, Synchronicity by The Police versus Dream of Blue Turtles by Sting.
Okay.
I mean,
Synchronicity, as you know, was one of two of the first albums I bought.
Synchronicity is one of the, I think it's still one of the biggest albums ever released.
I'm I'm not a Police fan.
I didn't know that.
No, I never got into it. I bought it because I liked whatever hit I heard on the
Synchronicity
radio.
2, probably, which was a great song.
But I just don't.
Oh, that's funny. I love either does Quinn. My son doesn't like the police,
I
and he's a
just
drummer. I love the police. I love, and
I don't like white reggae.
Miller got me. We were playing.
And I love what do you call
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The guitar player,
Andy
Summers.
Summers.
Yeah. Well, because he's a jazz dork like you. Um, and Dream of the Blue Turtles, that Sting album. I just remember one song. If you love somebody, set them free, 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 set them free, set them free. Almost I did Michael
My
McDonald.
thing with
Sorry.
Sting is a hero of mine.
Oh wow.
Not necessarily for because I don't listen to his music, but
Is it the tantric sex?
I respect the fact that he's making it. That's a Zoolander quote. Remember
I
that from Zoolander?
don't think I do.
They asked someone who's one of your heroes. He's like, I think Sting is one of my heroes. I don't
Because
listen to his music, but I respect the fact that he's making
he's
it.
making. Well, I'm Synchronicity is the album I picked out of those two. I had Dream of Blue Turtles. I think a girlfriend gave it to me, like high school, and it was okay. It was jazz influenced, it was a little jazzier, and I think he just, I don't know. Sting always comes off self-important to me. I think he needed Stuart Copeland to
Yes. My
make
buddy's
him not
wife
that way.
is Beatles crying loves Sting.
Oh yeah, I can see that. I mean, Synchronicity had Every Breath You Take on it, King of Pain wrapped around your finger.
King of Pain's a great song.
Oh
Love
man,
that
that's a
song.
great album. So I'm going
That the
Synchronicity.
one that starts out like there's a little black spot on
Spot on the sun
the
today. Yeah.
day. Yeah, I like
Yep.
that song.
Um. All right. What do you got next?
The big one,
Oh, give it.
Megadeth, Peace Sells versus Master of Puppets, Metallica.
I'm gonna need some time. Um. I was
Man.
just I was just talking to somebody last night. Um. In that little parking lot area after the gig. And he was raving about the new Megadeth record. Raving.
Oh, it's so
Go.
good. Yeah.
Um. Peace sells. You know what? I listened to Peace Sells more than I did Master of Puppets. I did.
It's a dead tie for me.
I liked Ride the Lightning and Kill 'Em All more than I liked, which is funny because my son likes Master of Puppets.
It's
Um,
their best record, in my opinion.
and you know what? My big Metallica album was. This is gonna make everybody laugh. My big Metallica album was Injustice for All. I
Okay.
listened to it constantly. Um,
I
Megadeth
like it.
though,
Yeah.
man, I don't know. Peace Sells is such a good.
So
Um,
good.
so good, dude. He's just, I mean, that's Mustaine at his best, man. He
Yeah.
sounds great. And so far, so good. So what's a great record too? Um,
That's when they were the premier speed metal
the
band.
world state of the art speed metal
Oh
band.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it was. Yep.
I liked all the I did. I was a bigger for a long time I was a bigger Megadeth fan than Metallica fan. Might still be. Although I don't know who I was talking to about it, but I also really like sellout Metallica. There's some songs like King Nothing, I Disappear, some stuff off Load and Reload, and
Mhm.
I don't hate the song Saint Anger. I know that's an
Two
unpopular
by
opinion.
four. That was a cool
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
Yeah.
There was some I just liked that they I don't know. I like that they did have, yeah, it was weird. I mean, it wasn't Metallica anymore, that's for sure. But I don't know, Master of Puppets in that genre is kind of a flagship, I think.
Yeah.
and it was Cliff's last record, and we wouldn't be having this conversation if Cliff were still alive because there would be no load reload era ever. That would have never
No.
happened. He would have literally been like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" I
Yeah.
know he would. You can hear that. And the fun thing is going back and knowing what Cliff was into, like Skinner and Southern Rock and Thin Lizzy, and go
Yeah.
listen to Metallica albums with Cliff, and you hear Skinner riffs in them and all sorts of stuff. It's pretty cool. Yeah, boy, man. I guess for me it'd be Peace Cells. God, that's weird to say, but it'd be Peace Cells. I have what else do I have? A couple more left. I have three actually. Um, Here's two artists that left a band and each went solo. I have Paul McCartney's debut album, McCartney, versus the Plastic Ono Band, John Lennon and Yoko Ono. Um,
Okay.
at the
Well, what?
time, McCartney's big song off McCartney was "Maybe I'm Amazed,"
Yes.
and then Plastic Ono Band had "Mother" and "God." Um, McCartney, I remember when McCartney's album kind of was called like "Warm." It was like Paul McCartney, dude. If you took
That
John Lennon and Paul McCartney in a room, those two albums are like those guys. Paul
that had
McCartney's is accessible and
that had
you
maybe
know,
I'm amazed. Okay.
yeah, yeah, and
And
it was kind of lo-fi sounding.
the Faces did it first, right?
I
They
think so. I mean,
it
I
says
think
not,
it.
it's on his not as nods as good as a wink. Maybe
Yeah,
I'm
so it would.
amazed.
I'm gonna have to see who wrote. I don't know who
I
if
don't
it's
know
an
who wrote
unplugged or
it.
not. I love both versions. Um, I've played the Faces version before. Plastic Ono Band, I wasn't into it. I don't know. Mother was on there. I've heard that song a lot, and God, it was really raw. I don't know, man. I was so bitter about Yoko Ono, it didn't matter. It just didn't matter anymore.
Maybe
I
I think I'm wrong. Stay with me is the one I was thinking of.
oh, but the
But
Faces do. Maybe I'm amazed.
I think they do, but it's not on as nods as good as a
No, they
wink.
100% do. Um,
But
yeah. So those two, I guess, out of those two, neither of those albums mattered to me, and the reason I brought them up is that McCartney went on to have Wings, and I just think Wings. That's a Mitch Wood thing. He was a Wings fan, um, and turned me on
did you ever
to
did
Paul McCartney
did
and Wings.
Wings write? Did they write "Let Me Roll It"?
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
solo McCartney tune. That
And
was a White Rabbit cover.
did you
We
ever hear
played that.
the the band that I discovered by accident once going to see Thought Industry? Big Sugar does a
Oh, I know. I've
cover
heard of that band.
of "Let Me Roll It."
Is it cool?
It's way better than McCartney.
Okay, it's on my list right now. Big
It's on
Sugar.
one of the
Let
Hempelation
me
records.
roll. Oh yeah.
It's so good, man.
All right, I'm in. I just wrote
What
it down.
about like All Things Must Pass? What would have that gone against?
Could have went against either one. George Harrison
Yeah, that
is
was such a grid record.
dude. I just think that I mean, Paul McCartney was aware that he was Paul McCartney. I think John Lennon was aware he was John Lennon. I think George Harrison was just George Harrison. He
Okay,
didn't see it.
you're gonna hate me for this, but because I'm new Beatles guy, but so my favorite Beatles songs, I don't always know who's the singer.
Sure, of course not.
My favorite is "I Want You, She's So Heavy," which is John
I
Lennon.
want you. Yeah,
I'm gonna see if I get these right
that's a
for you,
heavy song. That's a
Beatles
heavy
guy.
jam.
So my second favorite song by the Beatles is called "Something."
Yeah, George Harrison.
That's George Harrison. All right. And then my another favorite Beatles song of mine, Don't Tell Me, is George Harrison, I believe, and it's called "In My Life."
In my life, I love you more. Boom, blah. I'm not sure if that's a George Harrison tune.
No? Okay.
I'm not sure.
Maybe
I
Paul.
mean, they all I mean,
Those are three of
obviously
my favorites.
you could put Ringo in there too. I mean, they all wrote. I don't know. George Harrison just seemed to be the most.
Ringo was Maxwell's Silver Hammer, right? Because that's
And
goofy as hell and
I think
submarine.
Octopus's Garden,
Yes,
Yellow
those are all Ring.
sub, those are all Ringo, which
They
are
put
fun
them up.
songs.
They put them up on the fridge.
Look, Ringo wrote, we'll put it right here on the fridge for everyone to see. Let's see
Is that
what I'm
what, is that what, is that what you felt like at Dutch Henry when you bring in a
dude.
song?
Dude, listen, you know, I one day I'll get those three guys on the show and you can cover our history. I will tell you this. You want to hear? I still think that part of the reason I am so I lack some I don't know, lack some self-confidence. They weren't great for that. They would do a lot of this. And it's a joke for Greg and I now. Like they wouldn't even if I started singing cover tunes. Like there were songs I could sing that maybe those guys couldn't that were breadwinners, you know? Like
Yeah.
we would occasionally do TNT and I could sing it, people shit their pants because I can sing Bon Scott AC/DC and some other stuff. And like we would do and I still do it. I'll do it with Greg. I do it with bands all the time. You can't always get what you want. Those
Hmm.
guys wouldn't even call it by name. They'd be like, because we never had a set list. So it'd be like, I don't know, do Johnny Stone's song. And it just always kind of felt like an afterthought, like, oh, or people aren't digging this. Have Chuckle the Clown over here do one of his clown songs and dance about. And um, yeah, I was the Ringo of Dutch Henry for sure. And the funny thing is, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this publicly. The funny thing about me being the Ringo of Dutch Henry is the producer of 1973 was my guy. He was already connected to me. He was going to do an album with me. The first song that really took off on 73 was Midwest Blues. That was
Great
the
song.
kind of the single song. And then when we did All That Space, we worked with Vinny Dombrowski. We turned in all our demos, and the two songs he wanted to work on were Greg's song Smile and my song Down So Long. Those were the
Oh,
first two things ever recorded for All That Space. So
nice.
that being said, I mean, those two guys were way better writers than me and more prolific. But yeah, I was the Ringo of Dutch Henry. God damn it. John's got a little song about his hometown. We'll put it right here on the refrigerator. Do I have anything else that was any good? I did have um Jimmy Page's Outrider album. Do you remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Versus Robert Plant's Pictures at 11.
Didn't listen to the Plant one, so
Dude, I was a huge solo that era of Plant. He had a song called Big Log. He
yeah, I
had
remember that song. I like the
in
Honey Drippers, but
oh
that
yeah, his 50s kind of thing.
yes.
Um he had and it wasn't on Pictures at 11. I think it was The Principle of Moments was the album. But he had a song called In the Mood. I'm in the mood for a
Oh
melody. I'm in
yes,
the
yeah,
mood.
yeah.
So I liked Robert Plant more than I didn't even listen to a lot of solo Page until The Firm. Remember when
Okay.
The Firm came out, Paul
Yep.
Rogers and him, and that was cool. But I was a Plant guy. I like solo Robert Plant. The guitar player, I can't think of his last name now. It's Robbie something that played with Robert Plant on those albums was
Okay.
very cool. Very cool. So,
Nice.
yep, I think that's it. You got any more on your list?
I don't know.
I have
That's
one more.
that's all of them. What do you got?
I have this is artist leaves band and does an album, and I want to compare the last Runaways album, um, which was called "And Now the Runaways," and it had like their version of "Mama We're All Crazy Now" by Slade is on there. There's a
Okay.
lot of covers. There's a lot of covers and different writers like Steve Jones and Paul Cook from the Pistols. There's a song of theirs on the last Runaways record versus "Bad Reputation" by Joan
Joan
Jett.
Jett. Oh wow.
And for me, the Runaways, people forget the Runaways were a pretty pioneering band,
Yeah.
all girl rock band, like really played. And I mean, they were, Kim Foley certainly sexed them up and made them, he played up on the jailbait thing and all of that shit. But Joan Jett's Bad Reputation
Man.
established Joan Jett, who she was going to be forever. And I even put Lita Ford's Out for Blood, which was her debut. It was not great.
Okay.
She got better as she went. The album after this was called after Out for Blood was called Gotta Let Go, and it
All
was
right.
really good. But Joan Jett went from the Runaways, which should be Joan Jett's claim to fame, right? And Lita Ford's claim that they were in the Runaways. But Joan Jett's claim to fame is being Joan Jett.
Joan Jett. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
yeah, I just thought Bad
She stepped out
Reputation,
of that shadow big
and,
time.
and she's just Joan Jett. I mean, that's household name right there. Joan Jett's household
Exactly.
name. And you could even ask some Joan Jett fans like about the Runaways, and they're gonna go, "What's that?" They'll know, but they're not gonna know any Runaways tunes. You
Yeah,
know,
hits.
so
Yeah,
yeah,
Cherry Bomb or something. Yeah,
right, exactly. And there we have it, album battle. That was pretty fun, man. It's hey, it's hard, like for me, because there's something about that original chemistry of the original s- classic lineup. Like the Crows have made great albums. Like I told you, it took me a while to get into Before the Frost. It took me a while to get into War Paint by the Crows, or even Happiness Bastards, or these albums that came. Um, but it's always Southern Harmony. It's always Southern Harmony for me. Because it was just and Amorica. I love those two albums. That's the classic lineup. For me, the Truckers have a classic lineup. Van Halen has a classic lineup. And there's a reason those are classic lineups, I think. It's the
yeah,
chemistry of those people.
right.
When it's good, well, you know what? I mean, since we're talking about Dutch Henry, I mean that Dutch Henry has a classic lineup. It's me, Mitch, Greg, and Todd. And we played with other people. Todd wasn't even the original drummer.
No,
He wasn't on 73. He didn't play. We played a ton of gigs without him. But him coming in solidified that thing because it was he and I who had grown up together and had some time together, and Mitch and Greg who had, and we were separated enough where it the middle ground was there where if they talked about something that might be, you know, they might say, "Hey man, it's like uh, you know, it's like a Nick Lowe tune." We could still reference that and make it work, even if
yeah,
you had to rephrase it. Even if they said the drum part is, I don't know, I'm making this up, but it's like Grand Funk. I could go, yeah, it's like Tommy Lee on this song. We could,
yeah,
and that's what classic lineups. I mean, that's why Mark Ford is a legend now because he was in the Black Crows and he was worked so well with Rich Robinson. You know,
right.
so
Yeah,
and that's why John Corabi goes to Motley Crue and they make a great album and nobody buys it because it's not Vince. That's why Kiss goes through all these people, but ultimately in '96 they put the makeup back on and get Ace and Peter because that's what our hearts want. That's tough. It's tough to be a replacement dude in a band because
yeah,
for some people, like even when I started playing with Dutch Henry, they were like, "This isn't the Duchesnes. Where's fucking Jack Lever and Todd Truman?"
yeah,
And the person saying that loudest was probably me. And I was thrilled to play with those guys. But for me, I love the Duchesnes. I'm like, how come this isn't the Duchesnes?
yeah,
So all right. Well, that was a good battle. That was a good battle. And I'm gonna check out Big Sugar's version of Let Me Roll It as soon as I'm done here.
yeah. And on a dime, and
Oh yeah.
she
And she
took a
took a
lot
lot of
of
pills.
pills and
I'm
died.
I'm gonna listen. With her drop dead looks and her little girl charm, everybody knew she'd go far. Yeah.
Is
I'm gonna start playing that song anyhow. I've been wanting to play that solo. Um, Took a lot of pills and died
that from
versus
Southmouth or something? I don't
no,
remember.
it's from Country Love Songs.
Country love songs. Okay.
That's the album that Miller and I bought at the gig because we went to see Junior Brown. It was at State Theater,
Oh, and
and,
Robbie
and
opened.
yes, and Greg and I, dude. Well, to this day, I think that's the one like social thing we did together. I don't think we've
Oh,
ever done anything else
outside of music. Yeah.
outside of music. Um, Now I've probably seen him at least every month, multiple times a month since I've been 14. But I've never fucking sat at his kitchen table and ate or anything.
Right.
But we went to see that show to see Junior Brown and Robbie Fulks. And both were so blown away by Robbie Fulks. Like, I know Junior Brown was great. I know he was. But we left there, Robbie Fulks fans. And then, like, the next thing that happened was we get a call to open for Robbie Fulks. And then we're playing the
Isn't
College of
that
DuPage with him. And
how many times has that happened to you where like we a few months ago we went and saw Brent Cobb at the intersection and he had this we didn't even know who the opener was. It wasn't announced, and I don't recall it being announced. So it's kind of you find out it when you get there, is there an opener or is it just him?
yeah,
And it was this band Gold Star, who I
okay.
raved about on the podcast for a while after I listened to it. So he gets up and plays, or his Gold Star gets up and plays, and I was so blown away that I'm just like, I want to go home and process this. I don't, and then Brent Cobb was awesome, but I just was like still thinking about the opener so much that I didn't enjoy the main act as
Well,
much
we
as
can't
you
then
know what I mean?
we can't waste this topic here at the end of a show because we will revisit this topic.
Okay.
We'll revisit the opening band topic for sure.
My
The
God.
the head turning opening band, we will revisit that for sure. Because there's a ton of them. I have a ton of them where
Okay.
it's like, holy crap, where did these guys come from?
Yeah.
You know, which is just is awesome. Yeah. All right, buddy. All right, I'm not asking you for any parting words.
You know what? I thought of some.
Well, lay them on me.
Ringo. I got blisters on me fingers.
All right, everybody. We'll see you later.
See you next
See you,
time,
buddy.
everybody.